Hello, everybody. Welcome to the December tarot reading. Let's just hope that it brings wonderful things for us for December. I'm going to switch cameras because I'm going to do some card picking first. So we'll have a look at what the cards have and then we'll do the reading with our other cards. So let's have a go. Okay. First card I'm going to pick is our word for the month. I'm going to do an angel message for the month because angels should be all over the place in December. And I'm going to do a 3-card draw so that you can pick a card. 1. That dreadful noise you can hear is my puppies under the table being troublesome. I think they want me to play. Too busy to play, Bonbon. I'll just leave these ones over there for the moment. Okay, let's have a look. Our word for the month is integrity. I think sometimes at Christmas, people feel obliged to do things. They feel obliged to buy stuff that maybe they can't afford. They feel obliged to participate in stuff that they might not be particularly keen on participating in. I think there's an obligation that we spend money, that we do all this stuff. And I think maybe the word for December, the integrity, is about being true to yourself and only doing what you can do. Like there are some spaces where your present is your presence. And if that's all you can do is just show up and be there for people, that's enough. So let's see what's on top of us. That's interesting. On top of us, the Knight of Shields. For me, this card's about making rash decisions. So again, in terms of that integrity, don't go out and overspend. Don't go out and do stuff you can't afford. When you're having to make decisions or you're having to make choices, actually stop and pause and have a think. Is this the right thing for me to do? Is this a good idea? Before you start making decisions. Sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in all this crazy Christmas stuff. So I would just say, breathe, wait, and think, is this really good for me? Wonderful. So what's crossing us? The Six of Wands. For me, this is about triumph and it's about onwards and upwards. And it's about good things coming. If you watched our live last night on the numbers, the 7s, 8s, and 9s, good things are coming. Good things are coming and things are changing. So in all this Christmas crazy, if things all get a bit too much and it all gets too hard, just remember, onwards and upwards, good things are coming. Okay, so at our feet, subconscious. This stuff is about turn your back on things that aren't serving you. Turn your back on things that maybe aren't good for you. Now, this might be just, it's a 3 card, which is all about gatherings and being with people and getting people together. But again, don't feel forced into having to participate in stuff. You know, Christmas is an easy time for some people, especially if they've got, well, if it's a happy time and they've got families and they've got little kids and all that stuff. But Christmas is also a really hard time for a whole lot of people. Maybe their family's far away, maybe it's been fractured. Christmas can be really, really tough. So anything that's not serving you, turn your back on it. I like this card. This card's about getting all your ducks in a line. It's also an 8 card. So this is, for me, it's always about make a list, check it twice, work out who's been naughty, who's been nice, get everything checked off. There's rewards at the end of this. We've actually crossed the hurdles that are in front of us. All we need to do now is get everything together, get everything all sorted, make it happen. If you have to, write things down, because it's also really hard when there's so many things happening. You know, you've got work, you've got kids, you've got life, you've got presents to buy, you've got food to think about, and it can all be a whole lot of overwhelming. So get everything written down, break it up into little tiny bits, and do things little tiny bits at a time. I like this card too. At her head. This card's about spending money. It's about being the ATM. It's about more money going out than is coming in. Again, be mindful that whatever you spend at the moment, you're going to have to catch up with at the other end. So don't just be throwing money away. Again, I'll say it again. Sometimes your presence is the present. Just being there for somebody, being with somebody. Things are really tough at the moment. And I think people will understand. Last year with our family, we did Savage Santa, which was great fun. What that meant was we only bought one present, and then we all fought over them, which was just, it was awesome. It was ridiculous. My present that I wanted got stolen by my daughter, and I'm still suffering and struggling with that. But this is about don't spend what you can't afford. Keep the heed, as they would say in Scotland. My Wheel of Fortune card. For me, this is about protection. It's about you're being cared for, your angels are looking after you. It's all about north, south, east, and west. You're being protected. If things are hard at the moment and the seas are a bit bumpy, don't worry about it, because again, it's onwards and upwards. Get through this busy period, get through Christmas. Things will be different on the other side. Things will be better. So, this is about knowledge. This one is about actually knowing what you can and can't do, knowing what you need to do. Very, very much around, again, staying sensible. It's a really bossy reading. This is all about stay on track, don't get distracted, don't make rash decisions, know what you can and can't do. Don't go for big giant presents, don't go for things that you can't afford. Stay with the program. Get your list, write it down. This card for me is always about there's people in the background chattering. And then the people in the foreground are worried about what the people in the background are saying. What other people think is none of your business. And you don't ever know anybody's circumstances. You don't know what's happening in their lives. You don't know where they're at. So this gossiping and chattering, gossip's a dreadful thing. But also what is dreadful is getting sucked into that and responding to how people are feeling or what people are saying, especially if it's about you. None of your business. Don't worry about what people think. They don't know where you're at. They don't know your circumstances. They don't know what's happening in your life. So, just let it all go. My next card's about winning. It's also about completion. It's the Nine of Wands, and it's about maybe stuff has been a battle this year, but things are changing and we're going to be winning. So again, if there's any kind of struggle, anything happening that's tough at the moment, ride that wave, get through it, because things are going to be better. Well, that's not pretty, is it? The Three of Swords. for me, this might be about, fractured relationships or frayed relationships or stuff that has happened in the past that has hurt you. Again, for Christmas, it's a really tough time for people. All the stuff that's happened during the year. I think this card from me is around being mindful that not everybody is going to have a good time and it's not going to be ho, ho, ho for everybody. A lot of people are going to be doing it tough and struggling. So, around you, if there's people around you who don't have the Christmas spirit, they're not just being grinchy, they might be doing it really, really hard. So, for you, again, I'm back to your presence is my present. If you're there for them, if you understand, if you don't try to push them into things that maybe they don't feel they're ready to do. I did a Christmas because it was only me and the two kids. We would do Christmas morning and we would open our presents. And then my daughter's friends had three little girls, and my son's friends also had three little girls, and it was a proper family Christmas. So I would drive them to their friends' houses so that they could actually have a proper family Christmas and it wasn't just them and me. And I would usually just go home. But one year, my son's friend's mum asked me to go and just stay with them when I dropped him off. And I did. And it was just awful because it was actually worse than being on my own, much worse than being on my own because I was there with somebody else's family and I didn't know anybody. And I just felt like I didn't belong and I shouldn't have been there. But because I had been invited, I didn't feel it was right for me just to walk away or leave. I just had to stay there and be grateful. But I was really, really miserable. So be mindful that sometimes people are nursing broken hearts or there's stuff that's not the best for them at this time of year. And just be open to supporting them and taking care of them when they're in that space. Okay, let's see what our angels are saying. On your angels. Moderation. Now that's a terrible card for Christmas, isn't it? Is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily. Although the fairies say a little bit of what you fancy is fine. Again, for Christmas time, moderation. Don't overeat, don't overdrink. I like the fairies, they've got a sense of humour. Of all the time of the year to have a fairy message that says moderation, it's this time. For goodness sake, naughty fairies. Okay. With my 3-card draw, pick a card that resonates with you. You can have one or two, or you can have the whole blooming lot. I don't care. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Card 1. Creative expression. This card, I think, is about getting creative around people where things might be fractious. It's about maybe trying to stay polite. It's about maybe trying to keep your mouth shut. It's about remembering that we're in a space of integrity this month. It's about tact and diplomacy. I failed tactic Kindy. I've got no filter, but I have had to get better. I have had to get better. So again, this creative expression. And maybe also, if you can't afford Christmas presents, why not write things or paint things or draw things or make things? Anything at all, get creative. Handmade gifts are beautiful. One of the most beautiful presents I ever got is hanging up on the wall behind me, and it's my Namaste sign. We had no money, and my husband made it for me. Bought the material, got the bamboo, painted it on for me. So that meant more because it was something he created for me. So maybe make your own gifts. Handmade stuff is fine. This card's about beauty, but it's also about remembering that you need to be gentle with yourself. You can't be a superwoman or a superman. It's about self-care. It's about remembering your worth. It's about remembering to value yourself in this craziness. It's about getting out of the kitchen. It's about not running yourself ragged. It's very, very much about looking after yourself, remembering you're worthy, remembering you're valued. Don't get put upon. Take time for yourself. Remember there's a beautiful person in there, and don't get swamped by everything that's going on around you. Well, that card just echoes everything I've just been saying. Kindness. Kindness to others around this time of year. Kindness to yourself at this time of year. Be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. Look after yourself and those you love. I'm going to switch cameras so that I can talk to you. Here we go. I'm back. It's hard sometimes when you get caught up in the crazy. And I was at the shops this morning. The shopping centres are mental. The car parks are crazy. The roads are crazy. Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's stressed by the look of stuff. And everybody's really, really busy. And they're trying to fit stuff in. So if you're in a car park or if you're in a shopping centre or if it's getting to you and the stress levels are rising, just stop and breathe and think, these people might have 20 people to buy presents for. These people might have a whole pile of kids to buy presents for. These people might be trying to budget to get food. Don't judge if you can. If you see somebody that's getting all distressed, depressed and upset, try to practice kindness. Try to be gentle with yourself and with others this December. I think I'm pretty much done. Now, we'll be back. So I'm not going to say Merry Christmas yet because we'll be back, not this Sunday coming, but the one after that. That's when we're going to do our readings. We'll have Nate with us. So when we do that, there won't be a meditation attached to that one. There'll be an energy joining, and then it will just be reading after reading after reading. You know, what we usually do is we usually just pick a card. But if you come with a question in your head and it makes the reading or an area of your life, it makes the reading more relevant. If you can say, well, I'd like some information about relationships. I'd like some information about my career. I'd like some information about my finances. Whatever is important to you at this time. It's got to be pretty general because you got to remember we're a public forum. So we're not going to do long readings. It's going to be bang, 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 bang. But if you come with some kind of idea in your head of what kind of information you're looking for, or if you're looking for validation, we can do that too. You know, if you're weighing things up and trying to make decisions, you know the answer. You might just want us to validate that you're on the right track. So that's maybe something to think about. It is going to be fun. It's going to be great fun. It'll be fun because there's three of us. And we just want to rattle through it to get to as many people as we possibly can. So that's what we're going to do. So have a wonderful day. I'm off to have a Pelowa session with Nate this afternoon. I can't wait. I had one already, but there's been so many things have happened in the interim that I just feel like I need a top up. So next time you see me, I will be so zenned out. It will just be glorious. So have a lovely week, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for listening. Like, share, comment, please. That would be nice too. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.